Good morning, everybody. It's clean the refrigerator day. So I have not been shopping for the last 4 or 5 days for breakfast, so we're just going to use what's on hand today. We've got some odds and ends. Obviously, I'm dressed for the occasion, as you can tell. Let me tell you what we've got. We're going to start with our sausage. That's going to be our protein today. I know we've done sausage before, but I probably use about a pound of sausage every 10 days. So I'll usually have it 2 to 3 times in a 10-day period. Maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. And since I'm ultimately a pretty lazy guy when it comes to this kind of thing, we're just making one giant patty for my camera person, Jody, and me. And like we said before, the thinner you make it, the quicker it cooks. So I want to make it nice and thin. And I'm just using something that doesn't come in contact with a cutting board. So I don't have to worry about that mess or getting a separate board. And there we go. Pan's been preheated. Relatively new bottle of olive oil, off to the races. We're cooking for 2 today, so I'm going to get all my skillets going. And there's my patty. We've got 2 skillets, so we can get everything cooked for both of us. So, I've nuked these potatoes. They're ready to go. We're just going to talk about each ingredient as we pull it up and use it. But these need to get cooking. They're fully cooked, but I want to get them nice and brown, a little bit crispy. Give them some nice home fry flavor. One thing when you're cleaning out the fridge, you may not know everything you've got. Because it's like, oh yeah, I bought that a long time ago. What is it again? I'm not sure. And you're going to find out what that means in just a moment. So let's get these guys cooking. Which leads us to our next ingredient. Wild mushrooms. These are shiitake type mushrooms. These are not shiitakes. These are locally harvested by our mushroom guy, Jim Weiser, who's our mycologist. And he's going to be leading a mushroom hunt for us on September 27th.
28th.
28th. See, that kind of morning. He harvests mushrooms from all over the city and county, as well as the Front Range area. So last year we were actually in Cheeseman Park harvesting. This year we don't know where we're going to go yet. He's going to let us know at the last minute, so it'll be like a pop-up mushroom hunt. Where are we going to go for the mushrooms? Wherever the mushrooms are, according to Jim. Anyway, we had a lot of fun with that last year, and we're certainly looking forward to it again. One thing I do know about all mushrooms is they love to absorb oil. So I'm going to cut nice and thin. Big part of our meal today. And we're just going to cram them in with the sausage as best as we possibly can. And just let that start cooking down. Mushrooms, of course, being mostly water, those are going to shrink quite a bit. And now we can see. Remember my rule, season what you see. If it needs it, put it on. You don't have to get carried away with your salt, but you need a little bit to bring the flavor. This is our ever-present turmeric. If you're not watching for the 17th time, but this is your first visit, the turmeric is our sort of anti-everything bad for you, catch-all. You name it, it's anti-that. Anti-cancer, anti-immune, anti-inflammatory, you name it. Okay, so the next secret ingredient is this herb, which I bought at the Mexican market about a week ago. And as you can see, there's no label on it, so I forgot what it was. But I need to clean out my fridge, so that's what we're going to use. So I'll get that separated. I've already washed it, and I'm just taking off the lower part. And while that's going on, let's get our veggies cooking. One of the secrets to my success, a lot of vegetables in the morning, freshly cooked, And today we're just working with what we have. So we got a piece of a bell pepper, a piece of a zucchini, and a piece of an onion. And tomorrow, guess what I'm having for breakfast? A piece of a bell pepper, a piece of an onion, and a piece of a zucchini. The other reason why we're clearing out the fridge is because my mother-in-law arrives tonight, so I'm making room for a whole bunch of stuff that we're going to go buy today. I'm sure you all know that feeling. Oh look, turmeric on my hand. Oh well, I'll save that for dessert. We're a little bit earlier than usual today because life as usual is getting in the way of a perfect system. The biggest thing I want to always pass on is if you really want to start incorporating this type of a meal into your daily, weekly regimen, you need an extra half an hour in the morning. That's it. One extra half an hour than you would normally do to get out the door. And that half an hour is to cook and eat. But this breakfast stays with us the whole day. I generally don't feel any appetite pangs until 3 or 4 in the afternoon, which that's when I'll look and have a power bar or something along those lines before dinner. But nothing more than that. Remember your pepper with your turmeric. Potatoes are getting some brown on them. That's all we wanted to see. They like to absorb oil too, so I'm just putting another touch. Try to get those turned over a little bit so we can get maybe brown on 2 sides as much as possible. That'll have a nice home fried feel to it. Mushrooms are shrinking. Help me, I'm melting. Sausage is still soft, so it's not done yet. So it's time to get our veggies cooking. And because we are cleaning out the fridge, I don't even have any of my usual goat butter, but I always keep a little bit of Earth Balance on hand just for certain things. There's just a couple of things in my world that I will refer to, so I want to make sure it's a good, healthy margarine. And we're going to use that to start sauteing the vegetables. Now you know why I own about a half a dozen of these here, and we're going to start selling them at the school too, guys, so keep that in mind. A lot of breakfast. Especially today with the mushrooms. And you can see they're really starting to shrink a lot. So, potatoes are going down in temperature. Sausage is still soft. I'm waiting for that to firm up. Mushrooms, I just want fully softened. That's my goal here. Fully softened. And they're about halfway there, maybe 3/4. But they are definitely getting softer. So, not much left to do, except start to tidy up and clean up my Mexican herbs. This is not epazote, it is not cilantro. But I did have it purchased at the store. And I'm just being honest with you, I'm not going to make it up. I don't remember what it is. I tasted it before I bought it. I liked it. I was making tamales a few days ago, and I thought I was going to incorporate a little bit of this into my tamale filling, but I decided not to. And it's also replacing our power greens today, which I don't have any of because those are going to be chopped for today. So there's that. We're moving all this stuff out of the way. I'm just going to give you a quick chop on this. There we go. Things are coming together. The plates, boss, the plates. Okay, that's just about there. Mushrooms are nice and soft, so we're going to turn this down. Flip that guy over and just keep that nice and warm. Potatoes, promote the vegetables and get those speeded up. And that leads us to our eggs today. We're having scrambled eggs with goat cheese. The goat cheese keeps the eggs nice and creamy. And I'm down to my last 3 eggs. Normally we'd have 2 eggs each, but it's cleaned the refrigerator right. We got plenty of other food anyway, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. And there's the goat cheese. Drop that right on in there. I'll start breaking that up in a minute. I've got a moment before I'm ready for the eggs, so that moment is my chance to get this stuff put away. With, of course, the goal being the kitchen's pretty much straightened up by the time it's ready to sit down and eat. Don't look in my fridge. All right. Forks for beating the eggs. Forks for having breakfast. I'm just going to break that up a little bit. Not too much. It really creams out in the omelet pan pretty well, so I don't need to necessarily break it up a whole lot. Just to get it started. There we go. Vegetables are sauteed, just enough. All I'm doing is looking for a little color change. Get a little pale translucence on those onions and zucchini. Slide that over there. Throw in our mystery herbs. That's going to be our flavor, as is the goat cheese. And now we're ready to rock and roll. So because I'm doing scrambled eggs, everything's going to happen real fast, which means I want to have everything else plated before. So we'll cut our sausage patty in half, nicely cooked through. Potatoes on the plate. Amazing vegetable medley today. Talk about eating the rainbow. Got all kinds of colors in there. There we go. Because we're a little up against it, I'll clean those pans after breakfast. But here we go on our eggs. A little wonk. Sometimes I get carried away. Come on. There we go. And everything happens fast with scrambled eggs in my world. What is that strange and wondrous mushroom? What is that strange and wondrous herb? Well, if we're back next week, you know it didn't kill us. This, by the way, is also how a lot of French chefs I've worked with construct an omelet. They're really getting those eggs soft and fluffy. And what I'm looking for here is just losing the shine. You can see the raw eggs have a shine to it, and we know as they get scrambled and cooked, they lose that shine, and that's all I'm looking for. And there you go. Nice and creamy, just cooked through. Enough eggs for us to enjoy. Cut that last chunk in half, because I'm that guy. Last but not least, remember, tomorrow night, go Bears.
Yep.
Life
Go
is
Bears.
good. See you guys next week. Take care.